Hey guys, my name is Simon and today I want to speak with you about our card game, Groundbreakers, and the evolution of visuals behind it. So if you're asking yourself, why is this sound so shitty? I'm sorry for the echo, I just moved and the flat isn't ready yet and I lost my microphone and therefore I need to order a new one. And until this one is here, which is in about 2 days, I couldn't wait any longer to make this video. Anyways, let's speak about visuals. If you want to hear more about the backstory of our game Groundbreakers, you can watch this video here. Long story short is, about 1 year ago, I was on vacation, it was super boring. I got an idea for a card game. I scribbled it down and then we made cards and tested it and now it's pretty fun and pretty awesome. And we're going to release a Kickstarter campaign at the end of September, probably. You can already follow the Kickstarter campaign in the description. That would be very cool, very thankful if you do so. So, we have this idea for the game, and the first set of cards, which you can see here, was basically only for testing. It was only for trying mechanics, for conception. I just added the numbers, and apparently we had about 44 different card types in the first version. That was too much, but I was aware that it is too much back then, but I still wanted to test it out because I think you can always skim things, but rather than adding new stuff in the end. And so, yeah, this was the first layout. You can see that it is quite, let's call it simple. Simplicity was held high in that design because we just wanted to test things out. And this stayed for a while, for about 4 to 6 weeks, before we added pictures, because pictures not only serve a design purpose, but rather also a usability purpose. Because of course you can distinct cards by their colors, but within the same color category, you can distinct cards mostly through the images. And so we added images to try things out, to see how can players remember cards, how can players adjust cards in their hands and stuff like that. And after this version, we started to get a little more gamey and also had this upside down part. We added some icons and stuff like that. It was used for quite some time within the testing, but was still all just mechanical. Yeah, there was no intent to have something similar like that in the end. Basically, when I started doing creating those cards, it was totally clear for me that the first 7-8 months of card design will just be for testing reasons, for mechanical reasons, and the final cards will look way different. So that was clear for me from the first moment onwards. But still, the cards improved a bit, I'd say. So after this version, there was another one where the pictures were more aligned and the art style was more aligned, because of course, when you have testing groups, their perception of the game is also dependent on the visuals. And if the visuals look like in the first version, you gotta have some good arguments why it looks like this. And the more polished your game is, even though this is not polished at all what we did there, but still, the testers need to imagine how things will look, the easier it is for them to focus on the mechanics and to give you feedback regarding balancing, regarding fun, regarding fairness and stuff like that. So after this version, we wanted to get more like final from a mechanical perspective. So we added all necessary icons, we changed images once more, we had a clear color concept and stuff like that. Even though this version was still a trash version, it was totally sure that the final cards will not look in any way like this. But this version was used quite a lot for testing, I would say, until like it was 80-85% done, like from a balancing mechanic perspective. And then we started to, with our lovely designer Andra, do the real designs. And those designs, the first design looked like this. I think this is already quite a jump, quite a leap. So I think this first design from Andra is already like worlds apart from what we did back then in testing. But I would say our final design, the card design, which you will see, drum roll, now is even worlds apart from her first design. So if you look at this, everything's perfect, yeah? The image gets as much space as it can. The iconography is on point, the colors are on point. You cannot believe how freaking hard it was to get all these colors combined, because we have 3 colors for 3 ages. We have 4 colors for 4 card types, and we have colors within the cards representing other card types. So for example here, when it says collectible card, you will highlight the color of the word in the color of the card type. So there are 1,000 colors mixed within our cards. It was pretty hard to get a neat concept there that works out well. I, for my part, am very satisfied with the final results. It took us so long to get there, but I think it's very important because visuals just make fun. It's very important to, on the one side, have astonishing visuals to make the game fun, and on the other side, have astonishing usability through well-designed visuals that players can get easily into the game. They understand everything, how does what work. Just as a short example here, if you look at the cards, all the cards have the ages represented on them, 1, 2, 3. And the 1 and 2 are grayed out if they are not playable on some cards. So if the card is not playable in that respective age. And those are like, maybe if you look at it solely, these are just small usability functions. But if you look at the card in a holistic conception, it's so hard to get everything combined into one card and have such an amazing final design as Andra made it here. And yeah, I'm very convinced of it, to be honest. And also the testers were highly appreciating the progress that we've made there. And I hope that the final game, of course, and the final players will also have some fun with the visuals, with the usability, and we'll just have a good time while playing the game. So basically, this is the evolution of visuals. So we came from this and got here. And at least for my part, I can say I'm pretty proud. And this also underlines one of my core philosophies, which is I'm a football fan. And I always say, like, think from game to game. I think it doesn't make sense if we got this version here right now, the first version, to think about what will be needed in this version. But rather, think about today, think about tomorrow, what needs to be done. And in the end, you will get there. If you improve every day by a bit, in the end, you will have improved by, I don't know, 50 days. So 50 times a little bit is quite a massive improvement. And I think the card design represents our philosophy here quite well. And I, just hope that you like it as well. Like I said, take a look at the Kickstarter campaign preview and please follow it. It will be very cool. We plan to release at the end of September, and I'm hoping that our game Groundbreakers will see the light of day and will be perceived as well as it is right now within the tester groups. Thank you so much for listening. Check out the links in the description and see you in the next video. Bye bye.